Hello. Hi, Avery. Can you let me know how the audio is? I am multi-streaming today, so I'm on YouTube as well. But yes, can you hear me? Can you hear the game? Are we good? Audio seems fine? Okay, I'm gonna hope that it is on YouTube as well. It should be the same. Okay. We're back. Good morning, Max. Oh, yeah. Good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it.
Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here.
I forgot what voice I gave her. What did I...
Have a glass of milk. Regina!
How fabulous! My sweetie pie princess! You came to watch my performance today?
Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this.
Mo said that?
So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess. You'll fly at the end?
It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties?
Huh?
I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't... Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on. Or even where she is.
Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today, I'm just a member of the audience.
Fabulous! Enjoy yourself out there.
Good luck, Max. You're the best. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick? Top of the morning to ya. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go?
Mo.
Top of the morning to you, governor.
Top of the morning.
That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm. But then again, worms lack higher brain function. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk.
Oh my. Thanks.
So, how are you today, right?
Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit.
You mean Acro? Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. He's got guts to spare.
If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses.
Huh? What are you going to do then, Nick?
I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today, we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth.
You're right, but it's gonna be tough.
Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father.
You want us to make sure Regina watches?
Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. For once, Mo isn't that bad. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you for the hydrate and stretch kimono.
How are you? Alright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events. What is the meaning of this? We've discovered a new witness. Or shall I say, a new eyewitness. Good just doing kimono things? I see. That's good. I'm also good. I just went on a walk, so I'm a little tired, but that's okay. This is normal. I was very productive though, so I am pleased with myself. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime. Order, order! I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Poor Gumshoe. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work, or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. It's Aggro! Oh my gosh. Name and occupation. Ken Dingley, but everyone calls me Aggro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the very big circus. Where were you the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. What I witnessed. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. Ken Dingling, I don't get the pun. I think the main pun is in his stage name, because his stage name is Acro and his brother is Bat. But yeah, because his brother's name is Sean Dingling. Ken and Sean. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that one's not very punny. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown. If that's the case, there's very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night.
Hold it!
Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, did. Mr. Wright, you have a problem with the witness's testimony. In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened. Very well, you may proceed with your cross-examination. It's just after 10 and I was resting in bed. I heard a large thump from outside, then a few moments later I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max. Oh, dip, yeah. I guess I just press everything. Because, I don't know. You said you were resting in bed. One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct? That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright, sometimes it can make it hard to sleep. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains? I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains. Aha! Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. I bet it was Rowdy hopping away from the crime scene and Rodeo put him up to it. The rabbits are evil, they are murderers. I don't think they can fly, though. Unless they do so while I'm not around. Ow! The witness will proceed with his testimony. Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes. And you said that you were resting in bed. That is correct. But you were still able to hear a sound from outside. I was indeed. Pressing acro doesn't seem to get results. But maybe something was contradictory in what he said just now. Heh. Huh. Huh. I mean... Oh gosh. What if I said that there was? There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction? Heh! Oh, well... That! You think so? Who's left of the crime so he couldn't have seen it? This is true. I don't think we're talking about the silhouette right now, so maybe it's not then. Let me... Okay. Back. No. Okay. I'll just... Here, I'll present the hat. Take that! And then... Reload. I'm gonna say there's nothing wrong. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Oh, thank you so much for the raid, Vicky! We could do a shout out. There you go. Everybody please go follow Vicky. What are you guys doing today? Yes, welcome. How am I? I'm doing good. I am struggling a little bit with this trial because I don't remember the answers, but that's okay. We'll get it. But yeah, what are you guys doing? How are you? Nothing, Your Honor, until I can find a clear contradiction. I should tread lightly. Okay, a few moments later, I saw someone flying. Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin, or perhaps a large action figure. Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible. You're playing Pokepark Wii, Pikachu's Adventure? Oh, I've never played that before. Chill, good fun, stress-free. That's good, that's good. I hope you had a good stream. If you need to, step away and stretch or get a snack, get some water, feel free. That is totally okay, I understand. And if you're gonna stick around, awesome. But yeah, thank you again for the raid. I really, really appreciate it. You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if we were there with you that night. I believe it was a human. Dang, I just strengthened his testimony. I wonder if Acro's statement jives with the facts. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honor. Until I can find a clear contradiction, I should tread lightly. It was Max Galactica. Okay. The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. The safety lights lit things up for me enough to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. You were right, Kimono, there's a hat here. There shouldn't be. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. But maybe there was something fishy with his latest bit of testimony. Yes, sir! There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction? Hat! Take that! You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Uh-huh. Is that so? Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside the window was a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Sir, it's purple, with a peacock feather. Also, does Russell even wear a hat? No, he doesn't. My guy. Afraid not, no matter how you look at it. This is Max's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has 2 silk hats? No, this is a handmade one-of-a-kind bottle made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Acro, that you've been fibbing on the stand. Order, order. As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking.
Are you okay, Nick?
Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today? He has a grudge against Max, he was dreaming, or he's the real culprit. We're just pointing fingers, I see. Russell Berry wears a classic black top hat when the circus is performing. Okay. But it's still not purple with the peacock feather. Gotcha. Your Honor. You do have to go, so you'll be lurking? Oh, that's okay. Thank you so much. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your stream day and hope to see you all soon. Yes, of course. Thank you so much for dropping by. Have a good lurk. On this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion? Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry. Let's go. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to be almost scary. No! Bird, get away. He is staying rather calm and collected. Mr. Daly, do you have any response to the defense's accusation? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things. See? Even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. She's right! Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man! Phoenix is getting cancelled!
Phoenix is a poopy head!
See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well? I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice. What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? Did he have an accomplice? I don't know. Maybe. I feel like if anyone, it would be Money. Sure he did. It's impossible for Acro to be the murderer in this case. If that's the case, then it's natural for one to consider possible accomplices. You don't say. Not good. Not good. This isn't going to end well. Well, Phoenix, in that case... What if we said he didn't? Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me into this one. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. Well... I mean, I guess a monkey doesn't count, maybe? Oh, order! What are you getting at?
Way to keep them on their toes, Nick.
Now I'm going to have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry.
Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that?
I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed.
Alright, then let's do it.
Mr. Phoenix Wright. If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right? Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling? What, in his room? Where else? He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room. Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts? What say you, Mr. Dingling? It's an interesting theory. That's it? Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, that's it. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer. You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime.
That's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he?
But Mike, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet.
Be careful, Nick, if you mess up here.
She's right. I can't mess up here. I've got to give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster, and he did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it. Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright. I remember nothing about this trial. I don't think I can. I think we'll finally be graced with an explanation. Don't push it, Von Karma. What? You aren't going to suck me in this time. I'm smart enough to know when I don't have the cards to play and my hand sucks right now. I don't think that was the answer. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? He means that everything he's said up until now has all been nonsense. It's true, right? If you can't establish proof of your murder theory, then it's nonsense. He's trying to fool us by playing some misdirection game. No, I'm not. I'm not smart. That's what it is. Okay. I'm going to present some evidence. So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of the murder against Russell Berry? Oh, well. Where's Max's bust? Take that! What's that? A picture? It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture. The bust. It's quite a large bust, and because it is life-size, it's also very, very heavy. This case needs to be over. We're ending it today. It will be over. Also, hi, Aremla. How are you? Heavy. Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death, especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Ah! See? This is how Acro was able to kill the ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. Order, order. So you're saying the bust fell onto the ringmaster? A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible. Is he calling Maximilian busty? He's been saying that since last time. Yeah. Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges? He is muscular, we see that. Well,
Acro's at a loss for words.
He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth.
Well, 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 Acro.
You can't run away. Ow!
I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Wright. Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What?
Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case.
How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited for this trial to be over. How about you?
I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say?
On Karma. She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time.
There's absolutely no need for such testimony.
The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond.
The defense's objection is overruled.
Why can't he see things my way once in a while?
Mr. Dingley, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him.
Thank you. That woman will sink to any low to win a case. Acro's physical state. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on it, don't you think? I have no doubts in regard to this witness's testimony.
It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright?
Doing pretty good, nothing too noteworthy. Sometimes, though, news is good news, you know?
That's what I think.
I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really.
Is the emote not working, Kimono? I'm only seeing text. That's weird. It's working. That's weird. Anyway.
Can't let her get to me. I've got to focus.
Could have lifted something. I have strong upper body. We lifted the bus. Okay. And why is that?
Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet.
So you couldn't have thrown the bust out of the window.
Just chuck it out the window?
How long do you think your recovery will take?
You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation, but it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%.
Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not be able to see out below the window. Why do you say it would be impossible?
Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there's no way that I would know the location of the ringmaster's head.
Well, I suppose you've got a point.
Hey, Nick.
Huh?
What if you turn things around? Maybe, if you think of it sort of like this, if he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust.
That does make sense. If only I could prove somehow.
Box!
Acro knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down.
I think I've already explained things sufficiently.
Did Maya just have a good idea? For real? Maya carry. Okay. Present. Box. Aha! Acro, you didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add.
Your silly hinging at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence?
But I did such a good job at hinting.
Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright.
Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over. The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense. The moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear.
You mean...
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim.
No!
Order! This is unbelievable. Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going, and there's only one way to go from here. Forward. So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene? It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down.
Ow! Allow me to whip some sense into you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Ow!
The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made.
Specially made?
Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. The weight. Heavy box. The box has a remarkable weight. According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds. Just to lift up this wooden box would have required... Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and then lift it up with their body, wouldn't you say? His head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. Francisca, how do you lift a box? There is really only so much room you can move your head when you're lifting a box. That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large. The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it? That's correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place. I legit can't think of any other place his head could be. Yeah, there's really no way, especially with him being so small. It was definitely not her best argument. It was not her best moment. Fool! Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing.
What?
Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? Yeah, the cafeteria. Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria. Then what happened to it? Also, the text messages barely go over this on-screen box. Oh, yeah. I had to change my thing because I'm multi-streaming now. I can fix that. Give me 1 second. Chat. Here. Yoink. There we go. Is that better? Is it also a different font? I think so. It's whatever the default font is on the thing that I'm using. I set it up last night, and it was pretty late, so I didn't bother messing with it. I just got it working, and I was like, okay, we're good. Good that I'm not going insane. Yeah. It should be that if I get messages on YouTube, it'll also pop up here, but I haven't tested it. Why did I change? I'm multi-streaming now because when I go to Korea in May, Twitch isn't supported in Korea anymore, so I can't Twitch stream. But I can YouTube stream. So I'm just like getting a feel for the YouTube streaming experience so that when I switch over while I'm in Korea, it won't be like, what is everything? I don't know how this works. We're testing the waters. I'm still gonna be on Twitch when I'm in the US though. I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself.
Huh, that means...
You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room?
You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Urgh!
Can I change my mind? Oh yeah, let's see if this works. Is it working? Do you see it? I expect there to be a little bit of lag with the YouTube comments. I can see them because it's on my phone, but it doesn't. Oh no, there it is. It does. It just takes a while. It's a lot slower than Twitch. Dang, I'm gonna have to get used to that. It was a lot of lag. Yeah, I have it on ultra low latency too. Solid 15 seconds. That's crazy. Oh well, it's something, I guess.
Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria.
Yep, we definitely have a problem here.
But this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happen once and for all.
Also didn't realize your YouTube link was in your bio, so I spent an annoying amount of time trying to find your channel. Oh. Do I have a command for that, actually? I feel like I should. I don't. I need to set that up. If I set it up, that might make it easier. But yeah, it should be in my bio.
Alright, Mr. Wright. Let's hear your explanation.
So wait, Twitch isn't accessible in Korea. Yeah, they completely shut it down, I think, in March. Because the internet was too expensive or something? I don't remember. There was a list of reasons. Yeah. It was just too expensive, I guess, to keep it running. The realistic lion JPEG. Yeah, right next to the cartoon monkey. Which I think I'm going to submit. A monkey. Everyone knows money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, it was a decision from Twitch. Yeah. They're the ones that were like, yeah, no more Twitch in Korea. Which is a real shame. It worked last time, but even last year, you couldn't watch VODs and clips and stuff on Twitch. So once the stream was over, it was over. Thought you meant the government. No, it was Twitch. Twitch decided that it wasn't worth it. Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist ring.
So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust?
Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home.
Oh. Money lives in Acro's room. Acro's room?
Objection!
But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny.
Let's interrogate the monkey, bring him to the stand. It'll be like the parrot.
Objection!
Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record.
My, those are some very nice cards he's holding. Yes, and they're made of platinum, which is very shiny.
Ah!
Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bust back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
Order, order, I said order. Miss Von Karma. Where is the bust in question at the moment?
No one saw the monkey carrying a bust? I guess not. He must be pretty sneaky with it. I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon.
Wait! Then, you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident?
It's possible. Oh my gosh. The voice is cracking. And I spilled water on my desk. I'm so good at drinking water, guys. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron! Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Ow! Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. Ah! There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? So she's an idiot. I mean, obviously, they are not considering the fact that the bust looks like a certain man that is being convicted of murder here, or at least tried for it. There's no doubt. Listen, they're also done with this trial. They don't want to be here anymore.
Nick, don't let her beat you now.
I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? Maximilian Galactica's gigantic bust. He saw Max's Ow! I asked, who was the other person Mo saw on the scene? That evidence has nothing to do with the question.
Objection!
Ma'am. Au contraire, mon frère. Frère? Is that how you say it? I don't know. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he didn't actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. Frère? Yes. I don't know. I do not speak French. How is that possible? It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off the cards in the bust's hands. Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust? It doesn't matter who put it on the bust. Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree? Ugh, he caught me. Let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? Technically?
Take that!
Fool! Him? You're saying that it was the victim himself, Russell Berry. Sounds about right. Good. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the victim himself placed the cloak on the bust? Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself.
Nick, do you really have a handle on all of this?
I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright, so you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust, and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window, directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room, and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now this is when the magic happens. At the very instant that the bust hit the victim. Bonk! How convenient!
You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be.
Because famously, cloaks float horizontally. Exactly. It is a magical cloak, I suppose. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet.
What?
The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Moe Curls, the clown. When Moe looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Moe saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because, in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of his window, so he just kept pulling the bust up. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. Amazing. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you!
Acro's been playing mind games with all of us.
He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope. Oh, but he's come to the end of his rope now. So,
What now?
you've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Evidence?
In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well.
Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point.
Can we see some evidence? Nick, they say they want evidence.
I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. There's still something unusual about Moe's eyewitness account.
Unusual?
A contradiction, actually.
Okay then, use that and get us out of this jam.
Ha! That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to the magic case.
Ha! What?
What?
Huh?
What? What? What do you want? No footprints? Maybe? What does the note say? This one? You haven't forgotten what happened 6 months ago, have you? I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Maybe at 10 p.m. tonight in the lodging house, blah blah. It's like a come and see me. I'm thinking it's the fact that there are no footprints, but I actually don't remember. Do we use this already? We used multiple pieces of evidence multiple times, so we haven't used this one specifically in trial yet. We used it during the investigation. what they want? Unravel the trick. I mean, it says meet me at 10. I guess that's when the crime took place. Let me save, game! Let me save! The fact that he's not wearing a cape in the photo. That's true! That's true. Let's do the photo.
Take that!
Why? Try again! There's literally 2 reasons why I submitted that photo. What do you mean? They'd been silent for 2 more seconds. I would have screamed.
Nick, they say they want evidence.
Most testimony. Note then, maybe, yeah.
Take that!
Ha! Okay. They say there's like a contradiction with this and Mo's testimony. And Mo's testimony was that he heard a thump. And then he saw the thing fly. Why is there a contradiction there? What? Those are some crazy platform shoes. Walk me through the evidence. We've got the crime photo, which is not it. So I know what we're dealing with? Yeah, okay. That's a hat. We know that everyone who saw Max, quote-unquote Max, flying, saw the hat, but this was left at the scene of the crime. Max got a raise. I don't think that has anything to do with this. This is Max's 3 symbols. So it's like the cloak, the hat, and then the white roses. Mo's testimony said he only saw 2. He saw the hat and the cloak, but he didn't see the white roses. Broken bottle, this is what Max used to plonk Ben over the head. That's a map. That's money. He steals shiny things. Leon, he's dead. This autopsy report. The box. The pepper was inside the box. Max's award ceremony photo. You can see his bust here. So we mentioned seeing a cape. There's no cape in the photo, yet the photo's not what they want. That's what I'm saying. I thought it was the photo too. We know it's not the note, and then this is the statue of the bust. I don't know. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this case. I don't know. I don't... Profile? Fabulous magician famed for aerial illusions. What? Ha! I'm so lost. What do you mean you want hard proof that I unraveled the trick to this case? I guess we submit things until it works.
Take that!
No way it was... Okay. The problem is Max's 3 symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Want me to Google it? That's okay, apparently I got it. These symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were 2 contradictions in Mo's testimony. I know! Symbols, like... Yeah, he saw 2. But why does that matter? The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool! Do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. Okay, but if I presented the bust, would that have worked? Would you have taken the bust too? Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Objection!
Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction? The other contradiction? Remember what the ventriloquist said in court. He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away.
Can you do it, Nick?
Of course, I can explain all of it.
What was that?
Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? They got covered. Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the backside of the bust. Order, order. This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Well, so much for that theory.
Mr. Wright, do you mind?
What is it?
You took the time to research our circus, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did.
Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now.
What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster.
Acro's motive. It seems that this case isn't over yet. What motive does my client have? This is true. Russell was even prepared to say okay to letting him marry Regina, which is kind of messed up if you really think about it. But like, come on! Our client doesn't have a motive either. You just arrested him because he can fly. Very well. However, I feel like this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. We're so close. This case takes forever. It is very long. It is very long. I can't believe it, Acro. It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is. And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated?
Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose.
He did? Psst. But I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know?
But you're not, which is kind of the reason why.
Hey, pal. You're gonna ignore me after I went through all this trouble to bring you some evidence?
Detective Gumshoe.
Forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. Now, detective. I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little?
We've got some really tasty milk.
How about a card trick, detective? Well, if you insist.
About that evidence you mentioned. What is it?
Here you go.
Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room.
Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later.
Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this?
That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis. We're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan.
I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now.
We'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion.
Final plans?
Uh-huh. That reminds me. I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. That's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here.
What did he mean by that? The very end part?
I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing.
Ah, don't scare me like that.
Looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant.
What? For me?
It's milk. The receptionist area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils.
An entire dairy's worth of milk? For me?
Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off. I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingley. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay?
Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want to answer to. About the ringmaster. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the very big circus, Russell Barry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. That was really short. You're such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such high esteem. You're absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there? Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. Of course I'll cross-examine... It's my turn. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive. Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness. I will, thank you. We were abandoned by our parents. That's what I became an acrobat at around 9 years old.
Hold it!
You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dinglingberries. It's nearly a household name. I've even heard of them in Germany. Lie! The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus. You are truly a remarkable young man. The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father.
Hold it!
Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Ow! Ow! No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see the witness ever taking the victim's life. Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor.
Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them.
I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk.
What do you think, Nick?
I don't know. I think the more I cross-examine him, the worse I end up looking in the end.
You mean?
I get the feeling that this cross-examination was a trap.
Yeah, Von Karma set you up again.
No!
Hold it!
We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. What? You have a brother? How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old and my brother was 4. Your parents were very cruel, weren't they? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us. us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the very big circus.
Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed.
He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like.
Ow! No crying in court. Let's keep going.
The witness may proceed with his testimony.
Hold it!
How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother, all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had.
What about the other people at the circus?
This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile.
What a beautiful story.
That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank you.
Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person?
I know, he seems like a nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult. So how long have you been a performer?
I think that'll be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely.
Exactly right, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead, Your Honor. I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead? No. But I will save, because I am a coward. I cannot. Nick?
Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, I don't think you can indeed.
Exactly. Because he wanted to murder someone else.
The reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven.
What?
That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all.
Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, "This is the real killer of Russell Berry, ringmaster."
If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right. The end of things. Acro, you didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night.
What did you just say?
I'm saying that the target of the witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with.
What?
Order, order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is. Smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must.
Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Ow! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else?
Oh wait, do I submit evidence or do I submit a profile? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Okay, I'll try a profile.
Take that!
Regina Berry. This young girl was the ringmaster's daughter, correct?
Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
Objection!
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question.
Objection!
He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is, "You're wrong." That's it.
That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough.
Mr. Wright, allow me to... Ow! The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself. And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence now. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry.
Spooky.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl.
Out to kill her, so this.
Take that!
Acro, you remember this, don't you?
Ooh, in that case, Abe's gonna... No, I like her. We leave her alone. We leave her alone.
It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat.
Inside the victim's tailcoat.
Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note? Yes, but there's just one little problem. Problem? Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean, it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. Order, order, order. Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours. It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, the ringmaster, saw the note? That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake. Instead of Regina. That's incredible. Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived at the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was. I've got it! I thought it was Regina down in the plaza. And that's when he let the bust fly. Hey, Nick. Isn't Regina listening to all of this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it. I don't care. She deserves this. Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Objection!
Foolishly foolish fool, with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish you even make me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yes? What about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Berry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Berry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter. Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note? The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago. And now I'm more than ready to show this court what happened at the time. Moron! Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case? It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Wait, what happened? Hold on, guys, my YouTube stream has died somehow. What's going on? Oh no, it's back. That's weird. That was really weird. Anyway. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, then hurry up and tell us all about it. I was going to say it seems to be live. Yeah, it's weird. It suddenly shut down on my phone, but then when I went to go look, it was still working. Very strange. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, the judge is going to think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually... Yeah, on my phone. I have my YouTube stream on my phone so I can keep an eye on comments. Because I only have one monitor, so I can't multi-monitor everything. Conclusive evidence about 6 months ago. Oh, is it? Yes, I see your comment there. Thank you. Hello, phone. It's working now. I mean, it was in the box, so I'm gonna assume it's this. I even questioned you about only having one monitor back in the day. Yeah. Someday we'll get one, but I also don't really have space for another one right now, so not a priority. Achoo! 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 What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for. What do you mean? Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright. So, what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming that Regina Berry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper? Also, your YouTube stream is a good 5 seconds ahead of the Twitch stream. Oh, really? It's ahead now? That's crazy. I think because my bitrate went down for a bit on Twitch. Maybe that's what messed it up. Man. Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Chat is still terrible, yeah. You win some, you lose some. Stream seems to be ahead. Interesting. They look about equal on my side. Maybe if you refresh Twitch, it might work. Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Haha, that's a lot of my life bar that's about to go down the drain if I get this wrong. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim? Intended? Intended? Who is this? That is Acro's younger brother.
Objection!
What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. Regina, she did that to him? Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state. A lion? Regina, I mean, Miss Regina Berry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. I don't know. I believe it. So then, what happened to Acro's brother? He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident. I see.
Now what do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident?
It was more than that. I'm going for it. I don't believe in Regina for a second. The lion-biting bat was no accident at all. What? You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There's no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother Bat.
Take that!
That's just a scarf. Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? Used to wear, he wore it for like 1 day. That's right. And who was the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him. Regina? There's something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor. And what might that be? Pepper. Pepper? Objection! Hi, Kata, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. I am shocked that Bat could not smell it. Hey, what's with the silent treatment? Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal, but out of curiosity, What was her crime? Miss Barry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that? Still seems like the judge just doesn't get it.
Mr. Phoenix Wright. Wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Yes, hello. Hope you're doing well. Smiling? The lion was smiling.
Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling.
Lions? Smile?
I've never heard of them smiling. However, lions sneeze. Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze.
Bless you.
He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf.
What?
You fool!
You've got to be kidding me.
Objection!
What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object. For objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it?
Let's go.
You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke, as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot!
It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves.
Are you telling me that what I said was true? Acro? You don't mean... You can't mean... Witness?
Are you confirming the defense's claim? Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder.
What do you mean by that?
The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory.
What would that problem be?
The same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I drop Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves this claim?
You mean the conclusive evidence? The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof, to be more precise. The murder weapon. The bust that the defense claims was used. That were to be found in Acro's room. And if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes. Yes, it would be. The bust. Nick, you've got to do something! This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. Let's see how things work out. It might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but... Why aren't you going to search his room? It looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know the true meaning of Von Karma Total Justice. I guess. I figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned. A Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We've already searched Acro's room yesterday. What did you find? There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for.
You see, Mr. Wright, the bust wasn't in my room.
Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise, and we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this.
It looks like you lack the final nail to put into my coffin.
But what about the scarf?
What about the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now.
Urgh! Do something, Nick! Don't let this case slip away! The bust! Where is it now?
Where's the bust right now?
You're Phoenix Wright! You know where the bust is! I'm sure you do!
There's not even a single clue.
How am I supposed to know where the bust is?
Because you're Phoenix Wright, Phoenix.
It seems that this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short.
Thank you for your support.
Ah!
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright.
I think that brings it to an end, the cross-examination of this witness. Hey, let's go. Where's Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous and I just bit my tongue.
Huh? What?
We need time to what? Ow! Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she? Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright? What? Are you asking me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Hey, wait. You can't be serious. Acrobats always have their lives on the lines, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life up until now. Now's the time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Very well. The defense may proceed. He doesn't have a clue. I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon.
Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim, the only way through is forward. The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust now? Well, it's obvious. The bust is inside this very courtroom. It's obviously where? Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. It's on the witness stand. Acro, I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair?
I'm sorry. I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright.
Well, you're a big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, hide a bust under there.
Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright.
I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it, in the only place that you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap?
Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played.
Let's go! You fool! How could you?
You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, two of them.
Two of them?
Miss Francisca Von Karma, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What?
There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were two pieces of decisive evidence, the cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash.
How did you burn it, my guy? Huh?
Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now, to be caught in the middle of court, hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma.
It all makes sense now. I can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing.
Uh-huh. You definitely could have tell by looking at her. Yo! I know I sure couldn't.
I can't believe it. Me! Make a mistake! Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that.
It seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro. Yes, Your Honor. Did you kill the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russell Berry? Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime.
Acro.
All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it would be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times, too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely. And she would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. That's when you decided to do something about Regina. How dreadful. So are you saying that you were a victim in all of this as well? No, that's not what I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first, I thought I'd kill myself, and then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet. This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself. I'm an idiot! I can't believe it! You beat me! Again! I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I would like to declare my verdict. Not guilty! Let's go! This court is adjourned. Honestly, one of the only good murderers. He's such a good boy. He is. I wish the crying animation was a little bit better in this version, though. It looked okay in the DS version, but it was a little too white and glowy here. It looks strange. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this.
Acro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? Well,
How is this chapter still not fully over yet? We're almost there. That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to.
congrats, but only at max 1 million of them.
Thank you.
What's with the vibe in this room? We're just thinking about Acro. No. If you worry about people too much, then you'll be like this forever and never be happy. Huh? She's been like this for a while now.
Sweetie pie.
Acro, they're never coming back. No, one's gonna split up. Regina. Mr. Wright, tell me something.
What do you want to know, Regina? You know what'll make you stop crying? Marrying a puppet! Best decision ever, truly.
Acro said something right at the end.
I just couldn't up and leave yet.
Does that mean that Acro... is he gonna try and get his revenge on me?
I don't think so. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina.
Are you sure? You're really sure? I can believe that?
Yep, Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore.
If that's true, then I want to see some evidence.
Huh?
I want to know that you're not just making up that stuff about Acro not wanting revenge.
I don't know. Are they saying they want, like, Bat because he doesn't want to up and leave yet because Bat is still alive? I'm just gonna submit this. It's whatever. Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again.
Bat!
Just show her the lion, you murderer!
That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. Never knew. But now that Acro's been caught... I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes. And then until he can meet Acro again.
That's so sweet of you, Regina.
I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat.
Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Here's a lion! Stick your head in its mouth and see what happens now! Don't forget the pepper.
Hey, Max.
What is it, Mo?
We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened.
Don't feel empathy for the murderer. No. But, like, you know.
So whenever you'd like to leave us... Oh, whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract.
I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now? Poor Leon, he didn't deserve that. True. Facts.
That's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. Who's Leon again? He's the lion. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision.
What is it?
I've decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus the world has ever seen.
The best circus the world has ever seen?
Don't laugh.
That's quite the goal.
Yay, I can't wait.
Why did they name the lion Leon? That's the laziest name possible. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Then I guess that changes things. Huh? There's only one thing the best circus in the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means this circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen.
Max.
Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? Also, I can see Mo as a ringmaster. I feel like it would at least be better than Mo the Clown, surely.
I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you.
Regina, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me.
It's a very low bar. It is. That's the point.
What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you to court today? We've got to work together to make the very big circus bigger than it's ever been. Mo.
Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the very big circus without Regina Berry. He brought her? Yeah, he did. He showed up this morning and he was like, by the way, guys, I brought Regina.
Max. Nick.
Seems like everything's going to turn out all right here.
I can't wait to go see the best circus the world has ever seen.
We'll save the most fabulous seats for you. It could definitely be a circus without her, for sure.
It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm going to order special whoopee cushion seats.
We're free! I see. What made the case?
Yesterday's surprise raid. It really paid off, just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you?
It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney.
You mean Mr. Wright?
I lost my gumshoe voice for a second. Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop by the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back.
Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Also, I don't remember this in the slightest. I remember this because the first time Avery was playing it, I was watching her, and I had convinced her that Edgeworth was, like, dead. And then she saw that and started crying because she was so happy that he was alive. And I thought that was so funny. I am a meanie! Oh man. Yeah, that was great. That was one of the highlights of my playthrough with her. Why are you outing me? Because I can. Because I am, and I quote, a meanie. Evil Renary. That's right, I'm a menace. But we're free! Because it's very funny, not gonna lie. Exactly! See? That's what I thought. But yeah, we're free! The circus is over! We never have to see it again! Let's go! Okay. It's over! It's super over. Oh my gosh. That was a long 3 stream. But it's okay, we did it. I think we're gonna send a raid over. Let me see who's on. Okay. Let's find someone playing Ace Attorney. Time for another messed up case for completely different reasons. At least it's fun though, you know? At least that one's like not infuriating like the circus. Because the circus one broke me inside. Yeah. Okay, let us see. Okay, we're going to send a raid over to Peeping Owl. They are playing the Great Ace Attorney. So if you'd like to stick around for that, awesome. And if not, that is totally okay. Alright, I'm gonna start the raid. Thank you guys so much for coming. And yes, see you next time. Glad to see you guys here. That was really, really fun, even if it was the circus trial. Alright, bye-bye!